And we're back with another video, but in this one, this is not a franchise mode. No, in fact, this is a good old update video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I had actually made, this was initially going to be a community post, but what I typed ended up being so long that I just decided, you know what? Nobody's gonna read this. I'll just turn it into a video instead. Anyway, mostly what I wanted to talk about was my inconsistency this year, because I know this year has been pretty bad as far as my upload schedule goes, and there's obviously there's a reason for that, and I'm gonna address that here in this video, because I thought you all deserved an explanation as to what's been going on for me the past year or so, and what I intend on doing for the foreseeable future, really. And I'll be honest, I've been struggling with whether or not I should even post this in the first place, because I generally struggle with opening up about myself and just what happens in my life in general. But I still thought the inconsistency that I've had this year warranted some sort of explanation. And also, videos like this just aren't my normal vibe. Like I usually try to be a source of positivity for people in a world that seems like it's full of negativity. But this is going to be some real talk here. So I guess the biggest reason that I've been inconsistent, well, actually it's technically two reasons, but they're sort of like tied together. I've been on the job hunt for most of 2024, and unfortunately I've had a very rough go at finding one or even getting an interview, for that matter, for a job that I'd realistically be able to do in my circumstances. And those circumstances being that I am my autistic brother's mostly full-time caretaker. He is very low functioning, nonverbal. He can make sounds, but he can't talk. He's extremely prompt dependent, and he requires a lot of assistance in his day-to-day living. Like he needs help with getting dressed, meal prep, eating, showering, and basically everything. You may occasionally be able to faintly hear some of the sounds that he makes in the background of some of my videos. Now, I do get some help from our parents whenever they're able to, which is mostly for a few hours on weekends, and also from a family friend who generously volunteers to help him for a couple hours per week, but that's about it. And our parents divorced a couple years ago, which led to both of them moving into new places, while my brother and I were basically asked to remain put. And as you might imagine, both of my parents' busy work schedules, plus living in different places, made taking care of him complicated. And I was already somewhat involved with my brother's care long before the divorce, but the divorce really pretty much forced me into being a third parent. And this has essentially severely limited my options for jobs that aren't 100% work from home due to my lack of availability and flexibility as the legal caretaker of someone who will likely never be independent. Now, I do get paid by the state to be my brother's caretaker, but it's nowhere near enough to be livable, and that's with cutting out several unnecessary expenses. Now, I should note that our parents do still give us some financial support for basic needs like groceries, but I've been trying really hard to get to a point where they won't need to do that anymore, and I can ease their worries and financial burden. Over the past year, I've been paying for taking online courses with certifications and applying for many work from home jobs related to said certifications, but I have been rejected at essentially every turn. Even employers who are looking for part-timers won't hire me because they are citing a lack of flexibility. So I mean, I realize that there are many people out there who have it much worse than I do, and I consider myself lucky to have a roof over my head and food to eat, you know? But it's really frustrating trying to earn a living in what feels like an impossible situation sometimes. And yet, despite my situation, I'm going to continue to do the best I can with the hand that I've been dealt. I mean, I like to think positive even when there's no real reason to be positive. I know that sounds that sounds kind of crazy, but I think you're not really going to get anywhere if you're in a situation like I'm in and you're just thinking negatively all the time. And since my job hunt has been high-key terrible to the point where it's affected me mentally at times, and I consider myself to be mentally strong, but everybody has a breaking point, and I have no interest in knowing what mine is or what the result of it looks like. So I have decided that I am going to start going all in on content creation and video editing in 2025 with the goal of turning my passion for this hobby into something that I can support my brother and myself with. This will be my 15th year of creating content on YouTube. I began in early 2010 on a previous channel, which is now closed down. But yeah, that's a long time. So maybe I just don't know how or when to quit. But I am more determined than ever to make this work, and a big part of being a content creator, again, a part which I have largely struggled with for the past decade and a half, is being able to open up about some aspects of your life. So I hope this has told you guys a little bit more about me that you likely didn't know. As for what I have planned, I currently plan on investing in a better mic, which I'm currently looking at the Shure MV7 Plus, and also a new XLR audio interface, because I suspect my current one has an issue that is related to the static that is occasionally popping up on some of my videos, and it may even be in this one. So I'm hoping that upgrading both my mic and the audio interface will result in some crystal clear audio quality in future videos. As for content itself, I mean, I still love playing franchise modes, you guys know that, and I would like to continue to do them, but I may also have to branch out into some new forms of content, and depending on how my ideas for the future play out, I may even have to consider doing a rebrand at some point to better align with the content and improve SEO. I mean, that's not something I'm doing right away, or maybe even at all. I'm not sure yet, I don't know, but it's definitely something I've thought about as a possibility. But regardless of what kind of content I'm putting out, I will be putting my all into this, and I'm at least going to give it my best effort to be more active on social media. I know I'm terrible at being active on social media. So that's something I also really need to take a bit more seriously here if I plan on actually doing this full time, which at this point, I mean, I already said earlier, but I don't feel like I really have too many other options at this point. I feel like I've tried almost everything, so I definitely have to make this work, and I hope you guys will be along for the ride, and I really appreciate all of you, and I know I don't say that enough, but I really do appreciate all you guys and all the support you show, whether that's in the form of a comment, a like, even a dislike, shares, views, anything. I appreciate all of it, and you know, just knowing that even a few people like my stuff that's enough to keep me going. I know it seems strange, especially after 15 years, right? But you know, I think that just speaks to how much I enjoy this, and I personally, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds as a potentially full-time content creator. Anyway, I think that's all I needed to say. So I'll let things off here, and just once again, thank you guys for tuning in and continuing to show support for the channel. It really means a lot to me. And again, I know I don't say that enough. Maybe I should start saying that more often, but really any form of support is very much appreciated, and I certainly look forward to everything that is to come. So with that, I'll leave you guys off here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.